Yeah, Bill, what do you got?
Okay, I was kind of paused on this one, but I only watched like one or two episodes of this. The revival of Will and Grace.
Oh, Will and Grace revival.
Yes.
Let's see.
This
Oh,
was a revival of the show from the 90s about a gay man who lives with his female roommate slash friend. And and they I don't have like too much to say about it, but I will say this. It's like I've only watched one or two episodes of the revival.
how was it?
It was okay. I never really watched the original Will and Grace, so that
Oh,
was kind of really young when it was I was kind of young when that was on, so I don't really have much to say. Um, but what I do remember is the show took place from 11 years later.
okay.
But what I did is, but what I don't, they basically had like the end, such as from the previous show, the sort of like a dream when they said, because they had Will and Grace marrying their partner and having children and marrying each other, and apparently that didn't happen.
What? Oh,
And the first episode was again not getting political, but this was in the early days of the our past president.
the MAGA era.
Yes, and I think what was going on at that point is that okay, you got to look at it this way, folks. When Will and Grace originally aired, LGBT relationships, forget about gay marriage, LGBT relationships was sort of a taboo topic.
Mm.
And this was in the 90s and 2000s. So I think it was interesting that they now forwarded the show to a more accepting time. Because think about it, a lot has happened since the first Will and Grace ended.
When did the first run end?
2006.
Oh, okay.
Look at what's happened since then. Gay marriage is now legal in all 50 states. Our society has become more accepting of LGBTQ. In the 90s and 2000s, when the show was originally running, there were people, I'm sure there were people who were not watching this show because of that subject matter.
Probably. Mm-hmm.
But I I can see why they revived it. And trying to folks, I had a bit of a long day today. My brain is somewhat fried, so
That's fine.
um but I think they probably wanted to bring this back because now this show was taking place in a time that's more progressive, a time that's more accepting.
Mm.
While during its original run, it wasn't.
I could see that. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's my thoughts on Will and Grace. All right, Allie,
Hold on, there's a lot here. I'm not sure which ones to pick. There's so many.
you just want to go down the list, or
Uh, I don't know, because I'll be honest, there's like hundreds of revivals and reboots. Some of them only lasting one season, some of them lasting two seasons. I'm trying to think of which one to talk about.
you know why? You know why they only last one or two seasons?
To give it an ending.
They last one or two seasons because people just want original stuff.
Like, I'll give you an example. Like, when Bill and I were in college, they had a reboot of Samurai Jack, but it was only one season, and that reason was to actually give an ending to that series that had no ending.